So today we are going to create a web app using Streamlit for a document summarizer. So the functionality of this particular web application is very simple, right? So user can upload a document or user can copy paste a text document into the text area, right? So whatever the content user has copy pasted or whatever the content user has uploaded will be extracted from the source. Right? The source can be a file or it can be a text area. Right? So that particular text will be pre-processed, or we can say that that will be cleaned. Right? So we will remove all the unnecessary stuff from the text, and then we will send that particular text or cleaned pre-processed text to ChatGPT to generate the summary of that particular content, and then that content will be displayed to the user, right? So user can upload the content and then he can see the summary in the applications, right? So for that, so we are importing certain libraries. So first and foremost is our hero Streamlit library. So I imported this Streamlit library with a short name est, and then I have a library called docs2txt. So you need to install all these libraries. So docs2text will read the docs file. So in this application, we are going to support two document format. One is Word document, other one is text document. Since we can use a basic Python code to read the text document, but you need a library to read docs. Whereas if you want to support PDF document, you need to install PyPDF library to handle PDF content. So for this example, we are going to support only docs and txt. So for that, you need to install this library, docs2txt, and then our Streamlit library, right? And if you want to have certain environmental variable, then you can maintain a file called .env file. In that, you have to maintain all your secret keys, API keys, and all these things. Right? File. So I have stored the ChatGPT key. So we will discuss how to get the key for our applications. Right. So, so as I said, there are 4 steps. So for each steps, I have 4 different functions here, and this is our main function. So this is where we have defined our applications, so front-end applications, right? And these 4 functions will help in processing the document. Okay? So this is where our main program starts, right? So the first one is title. The title of the application is document summarizer, right? And then this is what our subtitle, okay? So upload a text file or enter a text to analyze. So followed by, we have 2 input areas. So one is to get the file, right? st.file uploaded. So we have mentioned the type, okay? So you can't submit any other file other than these 2 format. And then followed by, you have a text area where user can copy paste the content. So and then we are checking whether user has uploaded a file or user has entered content in the text, and we are taking either of these 2 input, right? So in here you can checking if uploaded file is not none, then we are saving the uploaded file content. So we can see the uploaded file is sending to these functions where we are saving that particular file in our uploads directory. Okay, you can see if there is no such directory exists, we are creating a directory uploads, right? Which you can see it here, right? Uploads. Okay, and then we are creating the content of the file in that particular extensions, right? So we are saving the file in the uploads directory. So once the file is saved, what we are doing is we are sending that file to for the pre-process functions. So this is where we are extracting the content from the file. So kind of this is where we are reading the file. So based on the file type, right? For each type file, they have a file type. So for the docs file, you can see this is the standard file type, and for text file, this is the standard format. So based on the file type, we are reading the content here. So if it is a docs file, then we are using docs to txt process upload file. Right? So if it is an other type, we are directly using the inbuilt read method to read the content. So those content will be stored in the content variable and sent out of this function. So this function is to read the file, and whereas the other function is to just to save the file for our future reference in the upload. And saving a file is not mandatory. Right? If you want, you can remove, but since we may need it in our future for the references. Right? So if they have copy paste the content in our text area, then you don't need to do all these things. What you can do is you can directly copy the content, right? Or you can do the other thing is you can save this file, or you can save this content in the upload folder as a text directory if you want to have this in our future, right? Whereas here I did not save the content, they copy pasted. So I'm saving the files in the upload directory, only the files in the upload directory. Now, what if user doesn't you upload a file or a text content? In that case, what we are doing is we are showing him a warning that please upload a file or enter a text, right? So which means we are restricting the user to use any of these two options, right? And then followed by if this particular content is true, which means if we extracted content from file or if we extracted content from the text area, then this condition will get satisfied. This is where our core logic is happening. All right. So we have this header, which means we have this subheader in our application, original content, where we have a text area. In that, we are displaying the content as it is. We are displaying whatever the content we extracted as it is, with the height of the text area is 400 pixel, right? And then we are sending this content to clean the text. So there's a function called clean text, which is where our pre-processing is happening. And then we are displaying that pre-processed text as well, right? So in the pre-processing, you can see we're converting all the text into lower cases. We are removing the extra white spaces. For example, if there is a word, a double space between words, we will remove those extra white spaces. And then we are removing all the special characters, right? Which means we are removing all the punctuations. And like for example, at the rate symbol, hash symbol, whatever we do, we are removing it because ideally what we are doing is we are generating a summary, so we don't need all these things, right? And then just to ensure that you are also, you can also remove the special characters and digits. If you want, you can keep the digits. For example, if you keep it like this, it will leave all the lower cases, upper cases, and digits, except that it will remove all the other things. So the reason for removing all those things is to reduce the token size before we sending to OpenAI, because everything will be considered as a token and there is a limitations in the token size which OpenAI API can process. It depends on the model. So just to be sure that we want to give a proper content to the OpenAI, we are not sending a data as it is. Instead, we are limiting. Right? So once we got our cleaned content or pre-processed content, we are displaying that same to the user, and then we are sending our cleaned content to the chat GPT to get the summary, and the summary is displayed here. Right? So before that, we'll comment this and then we'll see how the UI is working. Okay. So to run this program, you have to go to terminal. So I'm right, whatever the IDE you use, you have a terminal in that Streamlit run your file name. So this will automatically open our app in this IP address, localhost, right? So you can see this is our title, and then we have this here subtitle, where you can have two options. You can upload a file, or you can manually copy this content, and whatever we upload, the extracted content will be displayed here, right? So I'm going to upload a file, right? And you can see it is showing only the docs content, right? And then docs and txt content. So I'm using this docs content. Okay. So I upload the Tom and Jerry story, which you can see here. This is what the width of it is 400. You can see the content here, which is a text area, and you can see the pre-processed kind of raw text. It's a kind of raw text. Okay, we removed all the extra spaces, special characters, and all these things. So this is a kind of formatted text. This is our original text, and this is a pre-processed raw content, right? So we are sending this raw content to ChatGPT to generate summary, right? So ChatGPT is quite enough to understand this raw text, and then it will generate the summary. Okay, thank you.